Good morning. Today we're starting off, good boy, with just some good heel work, walk practice with Mocha. I have the short lead on with both his prong collar as well as his head halter, and I have it connected halfway in between the two. Right. So if I need to, I can pull back a little bit to keep him beside me. But for the most part, if I just have my arm hanging down around my side here, it's generally going to be enough to kind of keep him close to me. Yeah. Good boy. There you go. It's also just long enough that he can still smell right beside him and pee if necessary. And it's not too long that he can pull past that, get in front of me or behind me. It's an easy way to be able to kind of use your body to help with turns as well as directing him. So I'll just keep on walking here. And if I want to turn left, I'll pull back on the lead a little bit. And then I'll just use my body. Good boy. Good job. There you go. So he starts going in front. I just pull my arm back a little bit. Gets him to slow down. Good boy. So here, he wants to go towards the fence. So I'm just going to start walking away. Good boy. And that helps to guide him back to me. Same there if he starts lagging behind. Usually if he's going off in a certain direction, so long as you keep walking in the direction that you want to go, it'll be easy for him to kind of follow. How you doing? And we'll just do another stop here. Good boy. Hi. Oh, good job, big guy. Okay, now we'll start walking. Good boy. There you go. Needed a little bit of an extra correction there to slow down during the crosswalk. Okay. Good morning. How you doing? Yeah. Good boy. There you go. And then use the body, push him back in. Perfect. Good boy. Good pee-pee. I'm still helping him out a little bit by walking more towards the left side, unless of course there's something there I don't want him to do. And then I just kind of keep walking forward until he catches up. Good boy. Yep. There you go. Good boy. The goal is to still apply pressure when we need it, and then keep the leash nice and loose when we don't. The good part about having a setup this close is pretty much as soon as he starts to go off to the side, start to go into the front a little bit too much, or lagging behind, just our own momentum and speed that we're going, as long as we're just holding on to the leash, will help to automatically correct him, because the arm will swing out as far as it'll go and then it'll stop. And then once we go back as far as it'll go, it'll pull. That'll signal him to catch back up. boy. All right, so starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Try my best to show you guys what my arm is doing in relation to what he's doing. Yes, good boy. All right. I noticed that he was starting to veer towards there, so I just took my steps that way and then slowed down and waited for him to pee. Boy. The good part about keeping the leash loose most of the time too and paying attention is that as soon as it does start to gain any type of tension on it, you're also more sensitive to it as well. I don't know who keeps bringing shopping carts into the neighborhood. It's a very recent development. So there, he suddenly dropped back for a smell, and because I was still going, it jerked the leash back up to towards me for me. Right. And now he's pushing a little bit in towards the right for me. So I'm gonna pull the lead back and use my leg, my left leg to body block for him. Make sure he doesn't cross in front of me. Pause here, good boy. All right, start walking. Got somebody up ahead because they're doing some lawn work. So what we'll do is we'll take them off to the side here and we'll have them wait with us. There you go. Just a little micromanaging so he doesn't go behind me. Good morning. Oh, he's got headphones in. Or earplugs. Good boy. Okay. Now start up again. So he went back to the side to investigate a smell. Because I was continuously walking, corrected him automatically. He caught up. Good boy. Same thing here. Yep. And now because we had him speed up so much, he sped up a little bit too much on that last one. Gonna go ahead and pause here, take a little break for him. Good boy. Mocha. Good. So practicing that positive name reinforcement. It's a little bit easier, of course, when his nose isn't in the grass. It's a good building block. Just say his name once, get his attention, mark it, that good boy, and then of course the treats are optional. But I always at least give the good boy the praise and some pets or something. But especially since we want him to build that positive association with his name, the treats are very helpful. So everything's nice and loose. There's just not much, I guess you would call it hang room. So sometimes it can look like it's tight, right? Good. There you go. Oh, going number 2. Hold up. So as you can see, he can still smell, right? And pee and go number 2 if necessary. He just doesn't have the same amount of freedom like he did with the longer lead. I also don't have to wait as often for him to smell things and mark everything. And where your preference on this will, lie, varying depending on, what you're trying to accomplish with the walk. Me, because I actually like walking with my dogs and letting them go out and smell and explore, as long as they're not hard pulling towards anything, then I give them all the time that they kind of need to be out and about. Just because, especially with my own dogs, working with other dogs all day, they don't get as much time outside. So the time outside that they do get, I let them kind of enjoy. We either play ball, go for a long leash kind of walk. Whereas I know the main trend nowadays, unfortunately, is to have the dog perfectly healed and focused on the handler during the entire walk. And I get it. Them not having their nose on the ground prevents them from pulling because they're distracted by their nose. But it doesn't always have to be the case. As you can kind of see here, we can get that compromise in the middle where he gets to smell and explore. He gets to mark things up. He's not really focused on me unless I ask him for it or unless I start or stop with the leash pressure, right? Change direction. Good boy. Right? But he's still able to do and execute, what we need him to do when we need him to do it. I always recommend that if you wanted specifically, to take your dog out for exercise with you, that you do that if they are practiced with, running or jogging or biking with you. It's important that they're able to kind of keep up and not get distracted. If they may have to work through those distractions time. And then also sometimes if you'd like to go for a morning run, then you just go for a morning run. Don't have to worry about your dog stopping all the time or getting distracted by squirrels. Unless your dog loves going for runs with you and they aren't easily distracted. Unfortunately, we have some lawn maintenance going on here. Good boy. So 90% of the time, I'm just giving him praise and positive feedback. And 10% of the time, giving extra little movements with the leash, either preemptively to keep him away from something, or to avoid somebody, or to get his focus for a pup coming. But all of the corrective work he's actually doing by himself by, suddenly pulling or getting distracted towards things. Just letting him kind of stop and check everybody out. All right, and then when we're ready to go, I'll start walking. Good boy. He follows. Good boy. So helping him work through his distractions. We're gonna go ahead and cross here. There's a poo station up there by the playground. You just have to stop. Thank you. Good boy. Good boy. So he was marking while being distracted by somebody walking behind us. So all I did there was pull the leash out to the side a little bit so that way he gets back to my side as opposed to tucking in behind me. Good boy. He's doing really good though. Weather is kind of back to normal, so keeping the walks relatively short. A couple blocks around, and then back in for a break. Just switching out pups. Good boy. Don't want to jinx it, but he's definitely doing a good job not rolling around. I think he's getting a little bit more used to having that halter on his face, which is nice. Tried to find one that would be the most comfortable for him. You want to make sure that it fits properly so he can, still pant and drink, take treats and everything with it on, but it's harder for him to just kind of slip it off over his head. It takes a little bit of adjusting, just paying attention and practice. But I think we got a good setting for him right now. Also, compromises between how much it's being used really helps. So in this setup here, it's like a 50-50, right? I still have the leash connected to it, but it's almost at that halfway point between his prong collar, and it's not at just here where it's pulling him all the time. So it's diverting some of that force into his prong collar as well. Is that we don't need it to bother him all of the time. We only need it to bother him when he starts pulling on it, especially abruptly. morning. Good boy. How are you? Good job. Okay. So he was a little interested there. If I wanted to, I could have pulled the lead back out to the left and to the back, or stepped up a little bit to walk a little bit faster to kind of cut him off. But we'll go ahead and wait here for you guys. Hi, how you doing? Good boy. Good boy, yes. It's important when we're asking him to stay, just give a kind of short momentary tug on it and then release it again to see if he's complying by himself. If not, you know, giving him a little bit more help or input. You can also use the stay command verbally too. We've gotten very used to it at crosswalks and just in general, me stopping and then that force happens automatically. And I just give him that praise for it. Right here. Yes, good boy. Good job. Okay. Then when I want to start again, start walking. Good boy. Okay. Saw that he was starting to dip behind me, so I threw my arm out to the left a little bit. Started going in front of me, threw it out back a little bit. And then when he's back where he, you know, is supposed to be kind of nicely off to the side there, arm is back down and nice and loose. Little adjustments here and there. All right. Just keeping up my own speed. That encourages him to catch back up. Got distracted by the sounds of somebody opening the door. Started going too far in front. Pulled my arm back a little bit. Arm's nice and loose again. Stopping to smell things, dragging a little behind. I just keep up my pace and he follows suit. Oh, bunny. Good boy. All right. Once we get down to the end of this corner here, we're gonna go ahead and stop the video, keep it nice and short. It'll be much of the same repeated as we kind of go down to the bottom of the neighborhood and circle back around. I'll start recording again if we run into any pups or anything. But he did really good. Same here. Good boy. Yeah. Good